Hi, my name is Jose Campos. I was a graphic and set designer before coming into the program, and this summer I started my first job as in the experiential marketing field. And today I'm going to introduce you to my project Step Up, Make Your Best Move. And first I'm going to talk about what sparks my interest in this subject. So first, I'm sure everyone has heard the term timeless, and it's a word that we usually use to complement a design that stand, their aesthetics or their appealing over time. And so I decided to take this concept and apply it to my thesis research that tries to create a framework to conceive more enduring structures, and but also to have a holistic perspective in terms of sustainability, specifically applied into the exhibition and experience design industry. So also my subject, I decided that it was going to be climate change. And I know many people find very hard to address this topic. So I decided that this activation was going to be very light and very fun and very optimistic. And for that purpose, I decided that it has to be collaborative in the public spaces. And also, I decided that since we want to actually get into people's mind, this was going to be is going to be a traveling exhibition in different cities. So what better client that Google for this, because they not only have a very huge global presence, but also they are committed to the cause. And not only inside they are reducing their carbon footprint, but also they help others to reach that goal. And in their products, of course, they work hard to make new apps or gadgets that make us easy to be more sustainable. This is a preliminary schedule of how the exhibition is gonna move. So we say we're gonna take public spaces, squares, and plazas, and because we want to also create the attention of the media and create like a narrative into social media as well. For this time, I'm decided that I'm gonna do it in Turin. So Turin, it's a city in the northern of Italy, and it was basically chosen because it have a cultural relevance in Italy, and also in a strategic location. There is close to France and Switzerland as well. It has a beautiful plaza, very big, and 70,000 square feet, and it already hosted many exhibition and events. And for example, one of them being just the European contest this year. So my audience are primarily parents with children, and then my secondary audience is college students. To summarize the goals, as I was saying, we want to create awareness in climate change, but also I think the main educational goal is that people live with the idea that what is their small contribution is worthy. And then as an experience goal, we want people to have fun, to feel optimistic in a playful setup. So how do we address the playful setup? That's why I decided to take inspiration of the traditional game boards. So that's going to have, so the exhibition is going to have that static and also that logic. This will primarily have the motivate the audience to engage in the exhibition, because they have to reach a goal. And also the layout of information and the content is going to be easy in a sequential narrative way. This is how the programming started, going from the concept bubble diagram to the experience bubble diagram that actually has already the path that is gonna, translate in the game path that you can see now. So we have the game rules are very simple. They have to reach to the end, and then in the way they're gonna find 6 different adventures, as I call them, where they are gonna have a challenge, and after each challenge they're gonna get a badge that will allow them to get later into the end zone. So this is like the side plan now, how it looks, and just so you have an idea of the space. And then I'm gonna talk about also the play workers that are an important part of the exhibition, because they are not only providing with information, but also they control the, the people's flow. They also part of the game because they participate and enhance the experience. So this is the final overview. We have the start point that actually it's coming from the main avenue and commercial avenue, and also the main train station. But also, it has many other access. So let's start. The experience starts, this is the view that people have from that point, and they are going to be welcomed by one of the play workers that is going to be holding the a QR code, because the experience is also complemented by an AR experience, and so they are going to have, if they want, they can download the app. Basically, they are gonna have also, to start, they are gonna have to roll the dice digitally, as I was saying, but also there are gonna be some dice, actual dice provided by the game players. The first choice that they have to do is if they're going right or left. So you have these two adventures that actually are equiparable in the experience. So if they go either way, they're gonna reunite it, and then it's gonna have the same impact. Also, this gave room to have a competitiveness between players. If they are a family, they can divide into. This is, again, we are gonna say that we're going to adventure one, for example, and this is the view from outside. So they are gonna be also welcomed by another play worker, and they're gonna explain that we have these informational panels in outside, and then in one side it's in Italian, and one side it's in English. Once they see these, they are gonna be invited to take their first challenge inside of the dome of the world. And then here is going to have this warm-up activity that is going to be physical and collaborative. Basically, they have to pump air into this inflatable iceberg. And once they got, and they are going to have a temperature indicator, or something that indicates the temperature of the world. And when it gets hotter, the inflatables are going to disinflate. So it's going to be a very, physical way to do that, and just visually, cue for what is going to happen, what is happening in concern to global warming. So this is just an introductory to the subject. They are not going to have a deeper information here, and they are going to have their first batch. Moving on, we go to the infographic part, where actually they are going to have that content that they were missing before, and they are going to grasp better the subject, because we rely a lot in very dynamic graphics. And they are going to be also warned that they have to pay attention to details, because they might use it for another part of the game. So this part also is complemented by an AR experience, where they can physically see how much carbon footprint a person produced in a year. So it's basically, they're going to see these big giant containers to see how many people actually do in a year. So moving on, I'm just gonna try to speed up the experience. So we have this jump station that I was mentioning, where they can actually challenge themselves to see how much they retain from the previous infographics. If they succeed in this fill in the blank activity, they are actually gonna move forward to the Adventure 6. And then, the two paths reunited in Adventure 3, where they have to learn about the collateral effects of climate change, which one of them is being migration. And then they are gonna have a more like, more like conscious about, what is happening in other people's life. Then we move to the Adventure 4 and 5 that are actually customized for the city that is hosting the exhibition. And in this particular occasion, we have, for example, Repop in number 4, that is an organization that fights against food waste in the market. And then we have the 5th that it's talks about the different changes that Turin is doing to fight against the smog. We move to the last core of the exhibition, last part, of, which is this two level structure that it's like kind of housing a house, and it's connected by the ramp. And so in the first level, they are gonna have they're gonna learn about actually what are the things that they can do. So we talk about the 3 Rs, which is reducing, reusing, and recycle. And they are gonna have this giant LED wall touch screens where they can actually, learn and identify what are those little things that they can do. Once they finish this or they accomplish this, they're going to get the 6th batch, and they're going to give them access to the top level where they have the Google sustainability area. Basically, they are going to have an introductory video of what they do, and then kids are going to be asked to draw their poster against climate change. So they're going to have this touchscreen digital pads. And then while they do that, parents can actually have a talk with an expertise in sustainability from Google. And also they're going to try the new products. And once the kids are done with their design, they can see it coming to life through this chimney, which is featuring an LED mesh. But then after, they have the AR app that will allow them to place their design around the plaza or in the city. So this is how the experience finishes, and I just want to mention some considerations that I had when I was designing. So we are using a lot of floor graphics. So we take care of having this painter that is eco-friendly and that can last for at least 10 days. Then we're using a lot of our panels are in MDF, or structures also that are covered by MDF, moisture resistant. And also we plan that the Italian ones are going to be donated after the exhibition finishes. And then we thought about the scaffolding rental system, which is make it easy, to just, rent this in other cities. So this is the end of my presentation, and thank you very much.